In the closing years of the 16th century, the winds of ambition began to stir across the seas in England. Inspired by tales of Eastern wealth and the daring voyages of explorers like Francis Drake, English merchants began to dream of their own empire in the East. This is the story of how trade gave birth to conquest, how a group of merchants transformed into the most powerful force in Indian history. In 1600, Queen Elizabeth I granted a charter to a group of ambitious English merchants, giving birth to the East India Company. Initially called the Governor and Company of Merchants of London trading into the East Indies, this organization was given exclusive trading rights. Their goal was clear: reach the East, trade in spices, textiles, and precious goods, and return rich. As the Dutch focused their attention on Indonesia, the English turned their eyes towards India. Captain Hawkins was the first Englishman to reach the Mughal court of Jahangir in 1609. Though his mission failed due to Portuguese influence, it laid the foundation for what was to come. Just a few years later, in 1612, Captain Thomas Best defeated the Portuguese at sea near Surat. Impressed by English bravery, Jahangir granted the company permission to set up a factory in Surat. From this small beginning, the English began to expand, rapidly building factories in Masulipatam, Agra, Ahmedabad, and Broach. With the arrival of Sir Thomas Roe in 1615 as ambassador of James I, the company secured further trade privileges at the Mughal court. By the mid-1600s, the company's influence was growing. In 1662, Bombay was handed over to King Charles II as part of his marriage dowry from the Portuguese crown. 6 years later, he leased it to the company for a mere £10 a year. The sleepy fishing village soon became the center of British operations in Western India. In the south, Madras emerged as another stronghold. With permission from local rulers, the English constructed Fort St. George in 1644, laying the foundation for British control over the Coromandel coast. Bengal, rich, fertile, and the jewel of the Mughal Empire, was the next major frontier. In 1651, Subadar Shah Shuja allowed the English to trade in Bengal for a payment of 3,000 rupees a year. Factories sprang up in Hooghly, Kasim Bazar, Patna, and Rajmahal. But the company wanted more security, fortifications, and power. After conflicts with local Mughal officials and setbacks like the sack of Hooghly in 1686, the English re-established themselves at Sutanuti. In 1690, Job Charnock laid the foundation for what would become Calcutta. By 1698, the English had acquired the zamindari rights to Sutanuti, Gobindapur, and Calcutta. Fort William was built, and Calcutta was declared the seat of the Eastern Presidency. The British presence in Bengal was no longer just commercial, it was political and territorial. The turning point came with the Farmans of Farrukhsiyar in 1715. The English secured trading privileges across Bengal, Gujarat, and Hyderabad. They were now minting their own coins in Bombay, accepted throughout the Mughal Empire. Back in England, political winds were shifting. The monopoly of the company came under criticism, leading to the formation of a rival enterprise. But rivalry did not last. In 1708, the two companies merged to form the United Company of Merchants of England, trading to the East Indies. This single entity would now dominate India's trade and its destiny for over a century. From a merchant's ambition to a monarch's signature, from small coastal factories to mighty presidencies, this was the English journey in India. What began as a trade mission would evolve into one of the most powerful colonial empires in history. And it all started with a ship, a charter, and a dream.